thank you guys so much for joining my live stream, my friends. We are going to be giving you guys a weather update on what we can expect as we head into the future. And as of right now, we are currently going to be telling you guys about what we can expect. So make sure to stay tuned till the end so that way you guys know what to expect as we head into as we get into the middle of December. So like I said, make sure to stay tuned, and I really do appreciate you guys joining me as well. I really do appreciate that. Just trying. But yeah, as you guys can see right now, we are currently going to be forecasting the potential for some severe weather as we get into December 19th. We're going to go ahead and switch this to the precipitation type. So we're going to go ahead and select this. And as you guys can see, we are going to be forecasting a pretty small storm system, as you guys can see, as we get into Monday, December 9th. So we will be watching that very closely as that happens. And one thing that we're going to be watching for as that rolls through, maybe a little bit of severe weather. It doesn't look as bad as it did earlier today, but it's definitely at the point where we will need to be watching for some potential severe weather closely, as we are seeing a little bit of blue showing up, indicating maybe a marginal risk of severe weather by the time we head into December 9th, which will be the beginning of next week. And then after that, things do look to calm down pretty quickly, but then we might need to watch for another small storm system as we get into Tuesday, December 10th, which will be right after the storm system on Monday. And then after that storm system, we're going to go ahead and move to the GFS model now, because this European model does not go super far out. But if we move on to the GFS model and take a look at that, we are going to be tracking, like I said, the small storm system as we get into next week. But if we continue to take this forward, we might need to watch another storm system as we get into the middle of December, which looks to be on December 16th. So we will be watching that very closely, as we could even see some snowfall on the northern side of that system. After that, it does remain uncertain, but some more storms could definitely start to roll on through. So we definitely will need to be watching that area very closely, as like I said, we will have that potential for some severe weather. So we definitely will continue to watch it very closely. And then after that, obviously far enough out to where it's still going to remain very uncertain, but definitely something, like I said, to really keep an eye on as we get into the middle of December. And then let's go ahead and also look at your total precipitation. This is, kind of what we're going to be talking about as we get into the middle of December. So if we look at our total precipitation, as you can see, we are going to be tracking a lot of chances for precipitation by the time we head into Sunday, December 22nd, which, we will, be watching much of the eastern United States for some potential severe weather. As you guys can see, still remains a little bit uncertain, so obviously continue to take this with a grain of salt, but much of the eastern United States is likely to see anywhere from around 2 to 4 inches as we get into Sunday, December 22nd. Like I said, we also could see quite a bit of rain, even some snowfall across the northwest. So definitely make sure you guys are getting ready for that area, as we could, be, watching that area very closely. So, like I said, obviously something that, still is going to remain very uncertain. But like I said, though, we are definitely going to be watching much of the east and as well as much of the west for that potential of a lot of rainfall. So we definitely will need to be watching that area very closely. Let's see here. Vin says, my period core, I am a grain of salt. Oh, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so like I said, we're obviously going to be taking a lot of this with a grain of salt, as a lot of this, like I said, is still uncertain. But, hopefully this won't turn out to be as bad as what the GFS mall is still currently showing. But like I said, we will be watching it very closely, as this does look to potentially be something to watch for as we get into the middle and as well as the end of December. And then let's see here. Shaken Blake says hopefully we see some snow with this here in the Ohio Valley. Yeah, I'm hoping for some snowfall too as well in the Ohio Valley. We can actually go ahead and take a look at the total snowfall if you want me to, because for how much snowfall we're gonna see also is still kind of questionable, but this only shows around a foot of snowfall across Wisconsin, Minnesota, into parts there of Iowa, into Nebraska, and as well as northern Kansas as we get into December 22nd. So we will definitely watch a lot of those areas very closely, as this is kind of looking to be quite interesting, at least. So like I said, we will continue to watch a lot of those areas very closely. Even you guys up there in New England, might have some chances for some pretty heavy snowfall as well, which we will continue to watch very closely. And then of course you guys over here in the Cascades, you guys might see some pretty good chances for snowfall too as well. So we definitely, like I said, will watch it very closely, as you guys in the Cascades, back down into the northern Sierra Nevadas, pretty good portion there of the Rocky Mountains, and as well as parts there of the northern United States. Like I said, we'll have that potential for some snowfall as we head into the middle and as well as towards the end of December. And then after that, we're gonna kind of also be talking about winter a little bit, because this is mainly what we're gonna be seeing the potential for as we head into the middle and as well as the late part of December. So if we take a look at the seasonal forecast, let's go ahead and take a look at the European seasonal forecasts. And as you guys can see with the seasonal forecast with the European model, we're gonna go ahead and change this to precipitation, which is mainly just to give you guys a good idea on what to expect. But for how much precipitation we can see starting off with the month of December, this doesn't really show it very active. This might show some chances for above average precipitation across the deep south, as places like Louisiana, back over there to Texas, even the western panhandle of Florida, you guys may have some chances of seeing some pretty good snowfall, which we will continue to watch very closely. Even you guys over there, towards parts there, of the northern United States, I think you guys will have some pretty good chances of seeing above average precipitation too as well. And then for you guys over here towards places like the western United States, back into the Midwest, Ohio Valley, and as well as into the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast, you guys might have some chances of below average precipitation. But I mean, I'm just not really seeing that, as like I said, we will see a lot of chances for some pretty heavy snowfall as we get into the middle and as well as the end of December. So I don't think I'm really agreeing much on this model, but I definitely we definitely will need to be watching it very closely. Let's see here. Has the GFS model changed since your last video? Yeah, it has changed a little bit. If you're wondering about the timing on the GFS model, it usually updates around 5-6 o'clock Central Time in the morning, and then in the afternoon it usually updates around 12 o'clock during the afternoon in Central Time, and then usually it does another one around 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon Central Time. So those are the times that it updates. So it's pretty much updates about 3 to 4 times a day. So you're definitely going to realize a lot of changes with it, but from what we know so far, though, it's definitely something to continue to keep an eye on with the GFS model, as things are likely to change, but it's obviously not really certain as of right now on what exactly we'll see. Let's see here. Cool. Thanks for chatting that. You're welcome. Thanks for joining my live stream. Shake and bake. You guys can continue to stay on my live stream if you want. And like I said though, with the seasonal forecast, like I said for December, we are going to be watching a lot of the United States for some below average precipitation. But as we get into January, this seems a little bit more accurate to me, as the Northwest, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley could maybe see some above average precipitation by the time we get into January, which, like I said, is going to be something to, really keep an eye on closely, as, things could definitely start to ramp up quite a bit. And then for February, not really a whole lot different compared to January, with once again above average precipitation being a possibility across the Northwest, with below average across the southern United States, and as well as some pretty well above average precipitation continuing across the Ohio Valley and as well as the Northeast. And then for March, which is the very last day of this winter, we could definitely be seeing some chances, for above average precipitation once again across the Northwest, Great Lakes, and Ohio Valley, and that could maybe indicate an early return of severe weather, but that still remains uncertain, so obviously take that with a grain of salt still. But like I said, though, we will definitely watch it closely as we get into March. And then let's also look at the temperatures, and if we look at our temperatures, let's go back towards December, and as you guys can see with our temperatures, we are going to be watching much of the west for some, above normal temperatures, as we could be seeing anywhere from about, 10 to 15 degrees above average across those areas overall for December, with the, even below average temperatures continuing across a pretty good portion there of the east. Once again, this still remains uncertain, but it's not really, something that we're, certain about. So, like I said, we will, continue to watch it very closely as we get in throughout the rest of December. It does look a little bit more interesting as we get into January, where it does show much of the southern United States seeing those warmer than normal temperatures, and as well as the northern United States seeing those below average temperatures. And then for February, about the same as January once again, with the temperatures maybe a little bit above average farther to the north, but still pretty similar in a lot of ways. And then for March, more than likely above average, as it will be spring, and I do even think there's a chance of seeing an early spring this winter. So like I said, we will watch it very closely as we get into March, as things definitely do look to be ramping up quite a bit. So that's the latest on this winter, with both temperatures and as well as precipitation. Let's go back and talk about the weather just a little bit more. And if you guys got any questions to leave down below, feel free to leave anything down below, as I will definitely get to that. But let's go ahead and look at a few more things, including these temperatures, because if we look at the temperatures, as you guys can see with the temperature, we are going to be watching for another warm up to be coming this weekend, as above normal temperatures are definitely going to be likely this weekend, as some areas could experience the 60s, as we got some oranges showing up indicating around 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Areas in these blues I could see somewhere between 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and then areas up here in the northern United States where you're seeing those reds and teals, you guys could see some chances for above average, or not above average, but below average temperatures. But yeah, like I said, that's something that we will, once again be watching very closely for, as, it does really look to be starting to ramp up. And I apologize for that background noise, guys. That's just a lot of my my things going on back there. But anyway, though, like I said, we are going to be watching a lot of those areas very closely. And then after that, though, we will see a noticeable change in temperatures as we are going to start to see more of that cold air start to surge on in. Hopefully it doesn't turn out to be too bad, but it definitely, like I said, will be something to watch for as we get into the middle and as well as the end of next week. But from what we know so far, it doesn't really look like anything too significant as of right now. But like I said, we will be watching it closely as a lot of that cold air looks to surge on in, with maybe another warm up coming as we get into the middle and as well as the end of December. And like I said, guys, if you guys got any questions to leave down below, feel free to leave anything down below in the chat. As like I said, I will definitely get to those if you guys would like me to. And something else that I would like to try to do while we're still live for a little bit is clicking that like button down below. Let's try to get to 10 likes on this live stream. So if you guys haven't subscribed already, make sure to subscribe so that way we can try to get up to 10 likes, like I said. And of course, consider subscribing as well. As like I said, we will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest. And so I definitely do recommend doing that, as a lot of this weather is definitely going to be quite active overall. But yeah, that's most of everything we've been talking about. We're gonna go ahead and just look at a few more things. I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly pull up La Nina, so that way we can talk about a little bit about that too as well. But with the La Nina, though, as you guys can see, we are currently right around that. If we move our camera just a little bit, we are pretty much right around that 0.9 value, which is a little bit warmer than a degree, because as of right now we are pretty much right below that negative 0.5, which is about a half degree Celsius below average. But as you can see over here, though, we are well below negative 0.5, and we are pretty close to 1 degree Celsius below average, which would be considered a moderate La Nina. So like I said, we will be watching those water temperatures very closely, as weak to moderate La Nina conditions are definitely appearing likely. So like I said, guys, make sure to at least be getting ready, as things could really start to ramp up throughout this winter due to those water temperatures getting more towards that weak to moderate La Nina. So like I said, make sure to get ready for that, as things are definitely going to be changing quite a bit due to these water temperatures going down. But like I said, guys, feel free to leave any questions, comments, or concerns that you guys have down in the chat. So we definitely do need to be watching those areas very closely. But like I said, feel free to leave anything that you want to say down in the chat, and I will try to get to those. Let's see here. It doesn't seem to be bad of a La Nina. Maybe I'm wrong. You're actually right, Shake and Blake. It's actually not really looking to be, bad, as of right now, because from what we know so far, it's mainly looking to stay on the weaker side of things, because whenever you're below that negative 0.5, that indicates, a weak La Nina right there. And then if you look, down here, this is about a degree Celsius. We're talking, negative 1.0, which indicates, about a degree Celsius below average. And like I said, we are pretty much right over that. As you can see, we're pretty much right over 1 degree still, but we are close enough to where we might be in a La Nina, a moderate La Nina pretty soon. But you can also see that those water temperatures have actually dropped all the way to that 1 degree Celsius area a couple times, even back in October. October, and then they just been warming back up. So I kind of think it'll stay in between a half a degree and a degree. So that indicates, like I said, more of a weak La Nina than a moderate La Nina. So like I said, I definitely do think it's, gonna stay more a weak La Nina than, a moderate La Nina. But like I said, though, we will definitely, continue to watch it, very closely, as, things are definitely looking, to be, quite, interesting once again. But let's let's look at just a few more things, my friends. I really do appreciate you, Shake and Blake, for joining me and chatting with me. I really do appreciate that a lot. But just a few more things that we're gonna be looking at, one of which will be this overall pattern. So if we look at this overall pattern, as you guys can see, with the GFS model, like I said, we are going to be tracking a pretty big warm-up as we get into the weekend, as much of the United States is looking to be above average. And as we continue to take this forward, another major Arctic blast is looking to roll on through, as a lot of cold air is going to surge on down by the time we head into mid to late next week. And then after that, that cold air will finally head out, and look how big of a warm-up we see as we get into the middle of December. GFS Mall wants to show a above average warm up. We usually wouldn't see this bit of a warm up this time of year, but just look at all that red and pink showing up could indicate some, record breaking temperatures by the time we get into December 15th. So, like I said, we will watch it very closely, as that is possible, but there'll even be times where we see the more of those, lows and cold fronts rolling on through. So like I said, we will watch it very closely, but it still remains, a little uncertain as of right now, as things, could definitely still change. But like I said, we will definitely continue to watch it very closely. Let's see here. Absolutely, brother. My business has benefited from your forecasts. I'm a mobile detailer. That is very cool. Thank you for telling me that. And like I said, I really do appreciate you chatting with me. It's a lot of fun. And I think we talked about most of what we wanted to go over. And like I said, unless you guys got any, questions you guys want to leave down there in the chat, because I'm obviously not going to be live for a very long time. But like I said, if you guys got anything to leave down in the chat, make sure to do that, guys. Like I said, let's try to get up to 10 likes on this live stream before it ends. And let's also try to, chat a little bit more, and of course, try to, like I said, consider subscribing if you haven't already, so that way we can keep you guys updated with the latest. But alright, my friends, thank you guys so much for joining my live stream. I hope everyone has had a great Friday so far. I also hope everyone has a great rest of your weekend too as well. We will continue to keep you guys updated with the latest, and of course stay tuned for my video tomorrow morning. So like I said, make sure to do that if you have not done that already. And I will try to like I said, do another video tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And like I said, I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and we will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.